more you detach from material wealth, the freer your mind becomes. Possessions tie the spirit to the ground, but true freedom is found in letting go of the desire to own or control. A wise man knows that true power lies in restraint. The louder one's voice, the weaker their influence. Quiet confidence is the force that bends others without them even knowing. Success is like a flowing river, constantly moving and changing course. One must adapt and move with it, not against it. Stubbornness against life's currents leads only to exhaustion. He who understands others is clever, but he who understands himself is enlightened. The path to self-awareness is the hardest to tread, yet it yields the deepest understanding of life. Patience is not the ability to wait, but the wisdom to know when to act. Those who rush into action may see short-term success, but they miss the greater fruits of long-term contemplation. The more you rely on external validation, the more you become a prisoner of others' opinions. True freedom lies in releasing the need to be seen, praised, or accepted by the world. The past is but a whisper of what was, and the future is a mirage of what may be. Wisdom lies in the present moment, where the seeds of all past efforts bear fruit. The more you conquer your fears, the fewer chains they hold over your life. Fear is the greatest illusion, and once faced, it dissolves, leaving only courage in its place. Do not seek perfection, for it is an illusion that leads to frustration. The wise man embraces the flaws in life, knowing they are the very essence that makes life meaningful. Ambition without balance leads to ruin. Those who chase power, wealth, or fame at the cost of inner peace lose more than they gain. A steady path is the road to lasting success. The more you align with nature's rhythms, the more harmonious your life will be. Like the changing seasons, life has cycles. Resisting them brings suffering. Accepting them brings peace. Forgiveness is not for the benefit of others, but for your own peace. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal. It only burns you and leaves no room for healing. He who rushes ahead stumbles more easily. The steady walker may seem slow, but he reaches his destination without injury. Pace yourself in life and avoid the pitfalls of haste. True wisdom lies in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Words carry weight, and those who use them carelessly scatter their power. Silence often speaks louder than sound. A strong mind is not swayed by praise or criticism. Those who know their worth are unaffected by the fleeting opinions of others. They are rooted in their own truth, unshakable. The path to mastery is paved with humility. Those who believe they know everything stop learning. The wise man always leaves room for growth, understanding that wisdom has no end. Time is the most valuable currency, yet it is the one most often wasted. The more you respect time, the richer your life becomes. Invest it wisely, and it will yield endless returns. The more you resist change, the more you suffer. Life is like water, constantly moving and shifting. To flow with it is to find peace. To fight against it is to drown in turmoil. True wealth is found in simplicity. The more you simplify your life, the clearer your mind becomes. Complexity breeds confusion, while simplicity opens the door to profound understanding. The wise man does not fight against the inevitable. He accepts what cannot be changed and focuses his energy on what can. In this way, he moves with life, not against it. He who cannot control his temper is a slave to it. Anger clouds the mind and distorts judgment. The man who masters his emotions masters his destiny. Knowledge is like a tree. It grows slowly over time, with deep roots and strong branches. The impatient seek shortcuts, but true wisdom takes time to cultivate and mature. Do not seek to change others, for that is a futile task. Change yourself, and others will either follow your example or fall away naturally. Influence begins with self-transformation. The wise man does not seek revenge, for he knows that anger only begets more anger. True strength lies in walking away from the cycle of retribution and choosing peace instead. He who pursues pleasure endlessly will never be satisfied. Desires are insatiable, and the more they are fed, the hungrier they become. True fulfillment comes from within, not from external indulgence. The more you chase happiness, the further it runs from you. Happiness is not something to be sought. It is something that arises naturally when you align with your purpose and live authentically. He who stands alone is often stronger than the one who follows the crowd. The path of individuality is difficult, but it is the only path that leads to true self-realization. The mind is like a mirror. It reflects whatever it is exposed to. Guard your thoughts carefully, for they shape your reality. Surround yourself with wisdom, and your life will reflect it. The more you act with integrity, the more peace you bring into your life. Deception and dishonesty may bring short-term gain, but they corrode the soul and lead to long-term turmoil. Do not fear failure, for it is the foundation of success. Each mistake is a lesson that brings you closer to mastery. The wise man learns more from failure than from victory. The more you control your desires, the more control you gain over your life. Desires are like wild horses. They can either lead you astray or, when tamed, carry you toward your highest purpose. True courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to move forward despite it. Fear is a companion on the journey, but it does not have to be the guide. The more you listen, the more you learn. The wise man speaks little and listens much, for he knows that true knowledge comes from understanding, not from speaking. Do not cling to what has passed, for it no longer exists. The wise man moves with the flow of life, letting go of the past and embracing the present with open hands. He who seeks power for its own sake is doomed to lose it. True power is not taken. It is earned through wisdom, compassion, and the ability to lead without forcing others to follow. The more you question, the deeper your understanding becomes. Blind acceptance leads to ignorance, but a curious mind uncovers truths hidden beneath the surface. Wisdom comes to those who seek it actively. He who moves with intention wastes no effort. The wise man's actions are precise and purposeful, while the unwise scatter their energy. Focus brings results, while distraction leads to failure. Peace is not found in a quiet environment, but in a quiet mind. The man who can find stillness in the midst of chaos has mastered himself. External noise fades when the internal world is calm. To act without ego is the highest form of strength. The more you detach from the need for recognition, the greater your impact on the world. Ego blinds, but humility sees with clarity. He who seeks control over others loses control of himself. True leadership is found in guiding with wisdom and compassion, not in forcing compliance. Influence is earned, not demanded. Suffering is a teacher, not a punishment. The more you resist it, the more it persists. Embrace suffering as part of life's lessons, and it will transform into wisdom and resilience. The wise man knows that knowledge is infinite. The more you learn, the more you realize how little you truly know. Wisdom lies not in accumulating facts, but in understanding the limits of your knowledge. The man who can adapt to any situation is truly free. Rigidity leads to breakage, while flexibility allows for survival. Like water, the wise man flows around obstacles rather than breaking against them. The more you depend on others for happiness, the more fragile your joy becomes. Independence of spirit leads to lasting contentment. Build your happiness from within, not from the actions of others. True understanding comes not from observation alone, but from living the experience. Knowledge without practice is shallow. To truly grasp a concept, one must immerse themselves fully in its reality. The wise man does not seek praise for his good deeds. Virtue is its own reward, and those who act with pure intention need no external validation. The more you seek recognition, the more you stray from the path. The more you focus on what you lack, the more dissatisfied you become. Contentment arises from appreciating what you already have, and the wise man knows that true wealth is not in abundance, but in sufficiency. Patience is the foundation of wisdom. The more you cultivate it, the greater your ability to see beyond the immediate. Impatience blinds you to long-term benefits, while patience reveals the full picture. The wise man does not cling to success or fear failure. Both are fleeting, and neither defines the person. What matters is the journey, the growth, and the lessons learned along the way. The more you cultivate mindfulness, the clearer life becomes. When you live with awareness, you see beyond illusions, distractions, and trivial concerns. Mindfulness brings clarity to even the most complex situations.